Today on the Daily Scoop podcast from the Scoop News Group, Airbnb co-founder Joe Gebbia is named as the White House's design chief, and Senator Ron Wyden seeks a review of federal court cybersecurity, citing incompetence and negligence. It's Tuesday, August 26, 2025. Welcome to the Daily Scoop podcast, where you'll hear the latest news and trends facing government leaders. I'm the host of the Daily Scoop podcast, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for joining me. Now let's dive into the day's top headlines. The Trump White House has tapped Tesla board member and Airbnb co-founder Joe Gebbia to take the lead on its initiative to redesign the federal government's digital footprint. Gebbia announced that he was appointed as chief design officer in a Saturday post to X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. That role was established by President Donald Trump via executive order last week, along with a new national design studio and an initiative to improve digital and physical spaces called America by Design. Gebbia said in his X post that his directive, quote, is to update today's government services to be as satisfying to use as the Apple Store, beautifully designed, great user experience, run on modern software. Gebbia thanked Trump for supporting the new initiative and asked people interested in joining the studio to reach out with a link to their work. Prior to his appointment as the design chief, Gebbia also worked with DOJ to modernize the Office of Personnel Management's mostly paper-based retirement processing, per another social media post from Gebbia in February. That post indicated he was volunteering his time. Trump's design executive order was premised on the idea that the U.S. government has lagged behind in usability and aesthetics of its digital services. Its signing was followed by the launch of at least two websites to support the effort, americabydesign.gov and ndstudio.gov. In other news, Senator Ron Wyden on Monday urged Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts to seek an independent review of federal court cybersecurity following the latest major hack, accusing the judiciary of incompetence and covering up its negligence over digital defenses. Wyden, the Democrat of Oregon, wrote his letter in response to news this month that hackers had reportedly breached and stolen sealed case data from federal district courts dating back to at least July, exploiting vulnerabilities left unfixed for 5 years. Alleged Russian hackers were behind both the attack and another past major intrusion, and may have lurked in the system for years. Wyden wrote in his letter, quote, "The courts have been entrusted with some of our nation's most confidential and sensitive information, including national security documents that could reveal sources and methods to our adversaries, and sealed criminal charging and investigative documents that could enable subjects to flee from justice or target witnesses. Yet you continue to refuse to require the federal courts to meet mandatory cybersecurity requirements and allow them to routinely ignore basic cybersecurity best practices," unquote. That, Wyden said, means someone from the outside must conduct a review, naming the National Academy of Sciences as the organization that Roberts should choose. The Administrative Office of the U.S. Courts said on August 7th that it was taking steps to improve cybersecurity in response to recent escalated cyber attacks of a sophisticated and persistent nature on its case management system, but was vague about specific changes. In that statement, the office touted its collaboration with Congress and federal agencies about cyber defenses. But Wyden said in his letter that the judiciary stonewalls congressional oversight. He cited another intrusion in 2020 revealed by then House Judiciary Chair Gerald Nadler, Democrat of New York, by 3 hostile foreign actors, where Wyden said the judiciary still hasn't said exactly what happened. For more news at the intersection of the federal government and technology, make sure to visit fedscoop.com. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Scoop podcast, available on all podcast platforms. If you've already rated the podcast on your platform of choice, thanks so much. High ratings and good reviews of the show help more people to find it. The Daily Scoop podcast is a production of the Scoop News Group in Washington, D.C. Adam Butler and Carlin Fisher help put the show together, and the entire Scoop News Group team contributes. We'll be back tomorrow with more top headlines. Until then, I'm your host, as always, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for listening.